Okay, so imagine this for a moment. Yesterday, humanity returned to deep space for the first time since 1972. But if you watched the launch, you probably saw the spectacular part: the engines, the flames, the countdown. What you don't always see is everything happening around it: real time decisions, unexpected readings, protocols activating, and entire teams solving problems in minutes. Because even in 2026, launching a crewed mission beyond low Earth orbit is still one of the most complex operations we've ever attempted. In this video, we're reconstructing the first 24 hours of Artemis II based on the official NASA TV broadcast, preliminary technical reports, and established Artemis procedures, from the final hour before launch to where the mission stands right now. Number 1. The battery issue, T52 minutes. At 3:44 p.m. Florida time, the countdown appeared nominal, but during the live broadcast, a detail surfaced: an anomalous reading in one of the batteries of the launch abort system. This system is critical. It's the crew's primary emergency escape mechanism on board Orion, designed to activate in milliseconds if something goes wrong during ascent. According to NASA launch protocols, any irregularity here requires immediate evaluation. For several minutes, engineers reviewed telemetry, cross-checked sensors, and verified redundant systems. The conclusion? No evidence of an actual battery failure. Instead, the anomaly was traced back to instrumentation. After additional checks, engineers cleared the system, allowing the countdown to resume without further delay. What makes this moment interesting isn't that something went wrong, it's that the system responded exactly as it was designed to. Number 2. Flight termination system, critical verification. At the same time, another system required attention: the flight termination system. This is part of public safety protocols. If the rocket deviates from its trajectory and poses a risk, it can be neutralized mid-flight, a controlled destruction. This system operates in coordination with U.S. Space Force requirements. During the broadcast, additional verification steps were mentioned. This involved accessing certified hardware within the Kennedy Space Center. Situations like this are not uncommon. In aerospace engineering, reusing validated tools and procedures is standard practice. Shortly after, the system was confirmed operational, and the countdown continued. Number 3. An on-board issue, early in flight. Once in orbit, the mission enters a different phase. At that point, everything depends on the spacecraft. According to preliminary reports, not yet fully confirmed, the crew may have detected an anomaly in the waste management system. These systems rarely get attention, but in microgravity, they are essential for crew health. On previous missions, similar issues have required rapid intervention. Following standard procedures, ground teams worked with the crew to isolate the issue. A few hours later, the system was stabilized. Not a critical failure, but a reminder of something important. Operating in space means managing systems that don't exist anywhere on Earth. Number 4. The launch, real technical context. At 6:35 p.m. local time, the Space Launch System lifted off from Launch Complex 39B, the same site used during Apollo. The vehicle combines 4 RS-25 engines, originally developed for the Space Shuttle, with 2 solid rocket boosters. Together, they produce more than 8.8 million pounds of thrust. During ascent, the rocket passes through max Q, the point of maximum aerodynamic stress. Clearing this phase successfully is one of the clearest indicators that the launch is proceeding as expected. In this case, all parameters remained within nominal ranges. Number 5. Separation and power, orbital validation. Around 8 minutes into flight, the core stage separated, marking the transition to orbital flight. Shortly after, Orion's solar arrays deployed, developed by Airbus Defence and Space as part of international collaboration. These panels provide electrical power to the spacecraft. Their successful deployment is essential for mission continuity. Telemetry and visual confirmation indicated a nominal deployment. Number 6. Loss of communication, a documented event. Approximately 50 minutes into flight, a temporary communication interruption occurred. During a transition between TDRS satellites, NASA's tracking and data relay system. Events like this can happen during signal handovers. In this case, mission control continued transmitting, but did not receive voice from the crew for a short period. According to NASA, the interruption was temporary and did not impact critical systems. Communication was restored within minutes. Number 7. An international mission. The Artemis program is fundamentally international. It includes collaboration with the European Space Agency, the Canadian Space Agency, and other global partners. For example, Orion's service module, responsible for propulsion, power, and life support, is built by ESA. This represents a clear shift from the Apollo model. Exploration is no longer national, it's collaborative. Number 8. The first hours, routine that matters. After launch, the mission enters a quieter operational phase. Here, the crew performs system checks, calibrations, manual verifications. They also follow scheduled rest cycles. Fatigue management is a critical part of mission safety. On April 2nd, an orbital adjustment maneuver is planned, a necessary step before translunar injection. Number 9. The trajectory and what it enables. Artemis II follows a free return trajectory, a path that loops around the Moon and returns to Earth, even in the event of propulsion failure. This approach was used during Apollo. From this trajectory, the crew will observe Earth as a distant point, the far side of the Moon, and unique solar alignments. But beyond the visuals, this trajectory serves a purpose. It prioritizes safety while enabling deep space operations. Number 10. Where the mission stands now. At this stage, Artemis II remains in high Earth orbit, preparing for the next major step, translunar injection, a precisely timed engine burn that will place the spacecraft on a trajectory toward the Moon. This moment will define the rest of the mission. In less than 24 hours, multiple systems were evaluated in real time. Minor anomalies, procedural verifications, operational decisions. None of them stopped the mission, but all of them reflect how spaceflight actually works, not as a flawless sequence, but as a system designed to handle uncertainty. Today, 4 astronauts are orbiting Earth, preparing to travel farther than any human in more than half a century. And what makes this mission remarkable isn't that everything went perfectly, it's that when things didn't, the system worked, exactly as intended. And remember, the universe doesn't reveal its secrets to those who rush. It reveals them to those who know how to look. Subscribe and keep listening to the silence.